Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, as the title of the question is, was Laura wrong asking Sonny for help? Now, I've seen a lot of people in here so far. Um, let's do roll call. Freddie's in the chat. Sean is in the chat. Krista is in the chat. Queen of the South is in the chat. How is everyone doing tonight? And the question that I sat there and asked is, was Laura wrong asking Sonny for help? Now, in my opinion, the answer is absolutely she was wrong in asking Sonny, the damn mobster, for help. Remember, this is the same guy who nearly cost her the election. But for some odd reason, she said, ooh, let's just call Sonny for help. Because, covering up a crime is clearly not going to backfire on her. Let me tell you something. Her losing the mayor seat is the worst. It's probably the best thing that could sit there and happen. Because her going to jail for that shit, that's a lot worse. Now, um, why is this taking so goddamn long? I'm doing good. How you doing, Sean? It's good to see you again. And of course, Queen, of course. Of course, of course, of course. It's good to see you. It's good to see you again. Let's see how the audio is. I think the audio is a lot better. Jay Blue says, I think she was wrong for asking Sonny for help, but I know it was a plot anyway. Of course, it would be funny if Jason put the body at Windermere, yes. Black Minds in the chat, and thank you, Freddie. Thank you. It's Thanksgiving week, so I'm gonna be honest, that's the only reason why I actually got a haircut. Otherwise I would have waited for Christmas. Um like I'm being honest. Being honest. But thank you for that. Thank you for saying that, Freddie. It's good to see you tonight. It's good to see everyone. Hope everyone had a great day. Um, Usually Mondays I don't do streams, but I was off today, so I was like, all right, let's do it. Plus, I did want to drink, and I'm not drinking alone, so that's not gonna happen. And Ron says, good evening, folks. Phoenix says he had a heart attack. Oh shit! Wow. I'm doing good, Black Mon. I was off today, so I was very happy. I had to do laundry and I had to wake up somewhat early, which was a bitch. I don't know what it was so hard to sit there and wake up in the morning, like around 9 o'clock. Wow, that's crazy, Ron. Glad, glad he's still here. And yeah, Ron, we're gonna talk about days as well. And yes, Rachel is a bad person. I'm glad she noticed that. Rachel and Brady, you're an idiot. Eagle. Eagle says, "Hey Albert, hope we never have to see Vaughn on GH again, and Sonny needs to send his men in to protect Rocco. Dante never got himself how Dante never got himself defense lessons, and he's a cop. Yes, I agree with that part. I like Vaughn though, so I'm going to respectfully agree to disagree with that. Tracy Stevens is in the chat. How are you? One second, Ron. I'm gonna get to that. Um, yeah, everyone. Tracy Stevens is in the chat. Even though I've said this before, for some odd reason, it's not. You gotta hit the gear shift in order to see her. And Ego says Brady is such a letdown parent. Rachel is an evil person. Brady and Kristen are 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 disappointment parents. And like I said before, that little girl is better off growing up in a foster care system than Kristen as a role model. And Brady just, I don't know what else to do. Send her ass to boarding school. That's what you do. But yeah, I like Vaughn. I like Vaughn. I think Vaughn is good. Um, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I personally like Vaughn. Vaughn holds Vaughn holds Jocelyn's feet to the fire, and I'm here for that. They did some yes, they did, and it was actually pretty interesting. They actually did some outdoor scenes. I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe because I'm traveling, it's not showing. It could be that, but it's so weird though because it used to show it. So I'm hoping that's the case. Um, I don't. Eh, I guess he is in the down. I guess he is in the down, Rod. I actually did want to doing a Days of Our Lives review for reasons that I'm starting to question. Looking at those numbers, but yeah, I know you just told me that. I didn't know he did a spoiler though, but I'll check out his channel though. I'll check out his channel, Rod. Jay Blue says, didn't the WSB expose and dump Anna during the time that Charlotte shot her? How is Brendan and Jason not suspicious of Anna taking off with the WSB? That's a damn good question. Damn good question, my friend. Damn good question. Um, Freddie says Britt is annoying. Either she opens up to Jason about her project with Sitwell about Faison, or she doesn't. What she needs to realize is that she will never be his first priority, only Sonny and Carly. Yeah, see, that's my whole thing. I don't have use for Jason at this point because he practically sat there and said, "It was good, Monique." See, it's funny too. Monique is sitting there saying something very similar. Pick me over with the whole pick me. Didn't he choose you over his kids when saving you from getting blown up? Yes. But then I sit there and I look at an instance where she said, where he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry about leaving you. I wouldn't have left if I didn't have to. You left because Sonny ordered you to." Just like if Carly would have sat there and called you, you would have left. And he literally sat there and said, "I may probably want to do that again." So why the hell should Brit sit there and trust you when you'll always sit there and follow under Carly's and Sonny's ass? Why? Why? One second, Ron. Why? Why would she do that? That's why she was like, "You can go." Like, I mean, Ron, the way that he's running the hospital is the reason why Marlena is in the condition that she's in, which has gotten a lot worse. Um, because now she needs a temporary pacemaker, all because EJ decided to tighten up the belt and everything like that, and it's costing Marlena her life. So I understand where Belle's coming from. Jason was upfront with her, so she knows what's up. Exactly, and she should probably keep her distance with Jason, to be honest. I know people want them together, but I'm like, I'll tell you the truth, Jason's a waste of time. But that's just my 2 cents. She is wasting her time with Jason. Yeah. So all about Carly and Sonny and Michael. his relationship, his happiness, his kids to sit there and take a back seat to whatever, whatever. Um, somebody brung up today about Liz, right? Somebody brung up today about Liz. Like Liz has been a background character. Like she's there for filler at this point. She's there for filler. Like what does Liz actually do on this show? Liz had a storyline maybe a few years back with Finn. Well, Liz had a story, and then Finn hijacked that story, and you know, I know some people like him, but honestly, tell you the truth, Jason, I mean, tell you the truth, Sean, he could not. Jason, Steve could not leave fast enough. He could not leave fast enough. Um, Freddie says Albert actually saw a clip last week. It was an old one back in 2011 when Jason finally put Sam first over Carly when he and Sam were engaged and Carly had an attitude, acting like a sport brat. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's funny. I think I probably talked about that this weekend. But the thing is, Freddie, how long for him? How long did it take for him to sit there and put his foot down? Hmm? How long did it take him to put his foot down with Carly? Too goddamn long. Too long. Yeah, I remember saying that, and she was all shocked and upset. She walked in there and it was like, send Sam to her room. That's the kind of attitude Carly has. So I have to tell you the truth, like that was a long time coming. But that's still on Jason though. Because he let her get away with that for so goddamn long to the point where she got entitled to do that. But come on. You still ultimately want to put in what you call first. But yeah, Liz, right? What was what was Liz's purpose today? I mean, listen, I get it. Not every character can sit there and be front and burner. But like, I feel like, what is Liz's story? I heard the fans actually rally to sit there and give her, get her job back when um she got fired. But like, besides a steady paycheck, what else did she get? Yeah, I heard about that too, Ron. Yeah, only days this week. In Boston, everyone. Yep, exactly. And you know what the thing is, Freddie? Jason enabled her. Jason enabled her. Like Carly's gonna be Carly, but Jason enabled her. Jason enabled that type of behavior. So shame on Jason. Shame on Jason. Listen, don't get me wrong. Like I said, when I sit there and say, in a sense, kind of good riddance to Jason, is that Jason's best stuff was in the '90s. Jason's best stuff was in the '90s. What the fuck is he doing now? Nothing. Listen. I'm glad that he came back. I didn't like the actor getting fired. What's good, Tommy? Oh, Tommy, Tommy, Tommy. My dad is actually starting to like The Young and the Restless. Too bad they had to sit there and do 2 days of Christine and Danny's wedding. What a what a waste of 2 hours. I'm doing good, Tommy. How you doing? But yeah, my dad is actually kind of liking The Young and the Restless. I'm like, I didn't see that coming. I did not see that coming. I don't know if I showed you some of these pictures, but plus I need to open up the goddamn window. I don't give a shit if those damn dogs are outside or not. Anyway, yeah, you're gonna hear some barking. Wow, so Jason is leaving in 2016. Not surprising. Yeah, I think he only signed like a few-year contract. He only signed a few-year contract, so it's it's coming to an end, and probably for the best. I mean, listen, I've been sitting there talking all week about how I feel about the vets being on the show, and by the way, can anyone else hear a dog barking? Because I'll probably have to want to close the window at some point. These fuck-hearted dogs keep sitting there barking. Um. Anyway, what the hell was I sitting there saying? So yeah, Rocco is getting beat up, right? Let's get Lashanta. Rocco is getting Rocco is sitting there getting his ass beat, and Britt is sitting there saying that having Sonny come in, having Sonny come in is going to make it worse. But I'm like, well, how much worse could it actually be? You know, how much worse is it going to be? Freddie says, Albert, so Danny's going to be parentless. Sam is gone. I mean, he has a grandmother, Alexis, and Aunt Molly, and Christina, and his little sister. Or maybe Danny will leave the show as well. Maybe Jason will sit there and take Danny with him. So, which I'm cool with. I mean, listen, I have nothing against Danny or the actor or anything like that, but like, you know, and no one answered my question if you can. Did anyone answer my question if you can hear a dog in the background? Let me know if y'all can hear a dog in the background. Okay, good. I'm glad. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Blackmon. Thank you, Monique. Okay, good. All right. Yeah. Like I said, I'm probably gonna want to closing the door at some, closing the window at some point. Cause if I gotta sit there and keep hearing these fuck-hearted dogs, I'm gonna lose my shit. Anyway, uh, yeah, and it's funny too. Lashanta said, "I thought Rocco was alone." Yeah, that's what we all thought. That's what we all thought. We all thought that Rocco was alone. But I guess since he had to go out in the general public, maybe they have like outdoor times or whatever. Yeah, Laura B, I was off today. I was off from work today, so I had time to be on, and I was like, all right, let's let's come on tonight. Normally I don't, but um, I got some stuff done early this week. I'm planning on making a video, and I actually got a lot of stuff done early, so I was like, why not? Why not? Why not come through? Besides, I plan on drinking in a little bit, and I'm not drinking alone, so um, Yeah, exactly. That's another thing, Bobby. Thursday, I'm not streaming, so I was like, let me stream tonight since I'm not going to be streaming Thursday. Yeah, so I was like, let's do this tonight. Let's do this tonight. Well, Ron says, why you always say that Brady and Kristen are both horrible parents, and they spoil and innate a little Rachel. So where is CP? That's a damn good question. Oh yeah, Laura B. Yeah, I plan on being with family. So we're gonna I'm be at my family's place. What about you? What's good, Temp? Freddie says Albert Rocco needs to take boxing lessons, Albert, and keep his head up all because his father is the police commissioner and his grandfather is Sonny Corinthos. Yeah, somebody else said the same thing. That's right, Lashante. They killed off Luna. Yes, Freddie, I will be streaming this Wednesday. Wednesday I'll be streaming. Danny Bear 87, what's good, Danny Bear? I just saw that you made a video. By the way, who are these people? Who are these? Who? Well, let me put up another one. Who's this person? Sean, I know you know who it is. That is correct, Lloyd. That's correct, Laura Bing. That is correct. But yeah, Freddie, I'm gonna be streaming this Wednesday. So you know, I, okay. Yes, that is correct, Freddie. Yes. Now you know the thing that's really interesting. It was good, Amber. That's that. Yep, Danny Bear. You know. Um. So they were talking about Luna today, and it was like Luna is connected to Forrester because of Will. And I'm like, Luna's connected to Forrester because she was an intern. So if Luna's connected to anyone, Luna would be connected to RJ. But Born and Beautiful refuses to talk about RJ. They want to sit there and act like RJ never existed. I do too, Freddie. I do too. Freddie, When I Live was that show. All My Children was also that show too. But um, let me see if I got a couple more pictures of her. No, that's not. There. Danny Beer says, "I'm surprised they didn't mention RJ." Yeah, because they're getting a lot of, I guess, bad PR and stuff. Um, well, that's true too, Lashanta. G does act like TG doesn't exist. Um, but see, with Bowen the Beautiful, they talked about Luna's connection to Forrester, and it was like, well, she was an intern there. I was like, yeah, but she was also dating a Forrester. She got that internship because of RJ. But yet they're just gonna act like RJ just doesn't exist. Like what are we doing at this point? And granted, like B&B did not have anything. The only thing that B&B actually had was that the driver who hit Luna texted Electra saying that they're the person that hit what you call it. Yeah, exactly, Laura B. They just sit there and act like RJ just don't exist, and it makes me wonder. Yep, Ron, I remember you saying that. Freddie says I feel bad for you had to deal with the loud barking. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. I'll just close my damn window since clearly they don't want to walk their goddamn dogs and just keep them tied on the fucking pole. But um, it's fine. It's fine. I only turned on. I only opened up the window because I didn't get a chance to um do something about this heating situation, which I got to do soon. Well, Steffi because Finn is her dad. I just, but yeah, Ron, I remember you sitting there saying that. I just, like I said, I mean, granted, I don't think anyone watches Y&R, but like, I just sat there and I was like, so for two goddamn, and listen, I get it. There are a lot of Danny fans. There are a lot of Christine fans. They're a super couple, and they have years and years and years. But like, what the? I think for that picture, I know that's Marty Saybrook, and that's supposed to be a guy named Patrick. Yes, you can, Tim. What's your question? Since I did watch it today. Well, I watch it every day. But yes, Tim, you could ask me a question about B&B. I think it's time to switch. Why is something always hap- Why something always happens to Sharon? Because Sharon will be boring otherwise. Is Sheila allowed to be in Finn's life now? No, no, not according to Steffi. Steffi still don't rock with Sheila. They're in a better place, but not in a better enough place where she would feel um, comfortable allowing Sheila more into her life. So yeah, yeah. Apparently, apparently with Sheila, I mean, apparently with Steffi, she just is allowed to tell um, Finn who he can and can't be with, which is like the dumbest shit that. Well, but that's the problem though, right? Right, Laura B. If she did catch a break and she was happy, then she'll be boring. Then she would be boring. Because honestly, to tell you the truth, is like besides her being in danger, why what else would anyone care about Sharon? Well, that is true, Freddie. The actor, the man, he does sit there. Oh, okay. So Daniel, what do you like about Sharon? What do you like about Sharon whenever she comes on? What makes you like Sharon? I'm not being judgy. I'm just asking you like. That they're not jobs, Ron. But yes, Freddie. That guy plays a character named Ridge. But yeah, if you don't think that she's boring, what do you like about her? What do you like about her? Since you said that she's not boring, everything about Sharon is amazing. She's beautiful and lights up the room. Okay, so we went from okay, so now you're trolling. Okay, I got you. I got you. That's good. That's good. Danny Bear has a good sense of humor. Danny Bear has a good sense of humor, and I appreciate that. That's good. I like that. I can appreciate a good sense of humor. I really can. Gorgeous Queen Janet is in the chat. That is correct. That is correct, Janet. Shut up, that fuck-tarded dog. Jesus Christ. What that thing ever fucking do? Fuck, 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 fuck. Maybe if you walk that fucking dog. Oh, I'm switching. I'm switching. So I hope you can hear me now. And it's probably good that you didn't hear me. Are we talking about how boring Beyond the Gates is? Are we going to talk about. Oops. Okay, let's make sure the audio is good. This is so annoying. All right, so let's see if the audio is good. Okay, good, 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 good. Yeah, I did. I did say a bad word. I'm gonna sit there and say many bad words. Fucking else. Stupid fucking dog. I guess I'll be opening up my window again. I don't know what they're doing. On Beyond the Gates. To be honest, I. uh, That's right, young Todd Manning. When he was a let me tell you something. I was watching the scenes. Yeah, the original Todd is the fake one. Got it. Oh, Danny Bear, Danny Bear, Danny Bear, Danny Bear. What is the world going to do with you? She's on a roll tonight. I'll tell you that much. She's on the road tonight. Where's my goddamn music at? But it's interesting. It's interesting. I they used to have this show on SoapNet called Soap Talk, right? And they had Trevor on on the episode, and there was a couple of people I was like, "Oh my god!" To answer your question, I think Laura had no choice but to call Sonny. Mm, okay, I mean she could have called the cops, but okay, I respect your opinion. Um, but I appreciate you answering the question. Thank you, Lobby. Anyway, they was up there like really raving about him in the comment section. Um, like, oh my god, I love Trevor as Todd. Trevor as Todd is them bringing the character to life, and I'm like, everyone like. I couldn't say I disagreed with them, but like I wasn't gonna sit there and be shitting on their comments um you know what I'm saying, like they both did a good job as playing Todd, right? I don't always agree just because of the OG. That doesn't mean that like just because you're the OG does not make you the best. It just makes you the first,
Um, I personally like Roger's version of Pod, but like I'm not gonna. I wouldn't enjoy it any less if I didn't enjoy it any less when Trevor took over the role. Temp said Ann Stella and Trina both need to mind their damn business. Oh, Danny Bear. Danny Bear, you drinking tonight? Hmm? You drinking tonight, Danny Bear? Nathan will ask Jason about Dalton. Well, yeah, of course, he's the local mob enforcer. That would make a bunch of sense. I'm not gonna lie. I know that's a weird thing, but like there is something. So you're not you're not drunk. Then you're just trolling. Okay, all right, that's cool. But there's something about that first smell of newly opened bottle of wine that just hits on an entirely different level. And I think I should probably stop. Okay. I don't know, Danny Bear. I was just asking because, see, when I say things that don't necessarily make sense or whatever, at least I can always fall back on the fact that I'm drinking. So, I'm going to sit there and say some weird stuff. I can always sit there and blame the alcohol for it. But, I just, we'll just sit there and say that's your wacky sense of humor. Your wacky sense of humor. Um, anyway, Beyond the Gates. Who the hell in here is actually watching Beyond the Gates, by the way? At first, Laura was thinking of calling Kevin. She admitted it was nothing he can do then. Laura tried to call Alexis, but Alexis was talking with Chase about Willow case, so her last choice was Sonny. Her first choice should have been Alexis, but her last choice should have never been Sonny. Her last choice should have been the cops. Like, I don't understand. Like, okay, so we just gonna sit there and be like, all right, let's call Sonny to sit there and clean up this body that I clearly didn't do, right? Because at the end of the day, the shit is going to come back to light and it's going to make her look worse. Well, his character's still on the show. The actor is on Beyond the Gates. So, like, it's like TJ. TJ is still on the show, but Sitwell could buy the cops. Listen, when is the last time the PCP did anything right? Thank you, Blackmon. I appreciate that. Hmm. Oh, okay. All right. I like that. We doing it. We doing it hood style. Okay. Okay, Danny Bear. Danny Bear's like F that. I'm not using no glass. I just take the shot straight to the head. Okay. All right. I like your style. Set woke up by the cops. When the truth comes out, when the truth comes out, she gonna be in worse trouble. That's my whole thing. Lady B sent this saying that the cops could be bought, and Sean is sent this saying when was the last time the PCP did anything right. So we just gonna trust. I'm just gonna sit there and trust my freedom with a criminal. It's just I don't understand how we just out there just got to a point in society where it's like, oh, screw it. I'm not going to sit there and go to the cops. I'll just go to the local mobster. He'll just sit there and take care of all my needs, and I never need to sit there and worry, and it's never going to sit there and come back to me. because the cops sometimes have a bad track record. I would still sit there and take a bad track record over sit there thinking at any point, in any moment, at any time of the day or night, those cops could sit there and come right to my door and be like, "Yeah, we're gonna sit there and charge you, not for the body, not for killing the body, but for covering it up. No need to wash dishes. It's good to have shady people in your life to find a missing cat." But I was, the thing is, Jay Blue, I was surprised because like most people in here sat there and said like, um, she ain't gonna make 4 years. So because you think that the PCPD can't solve anything, your 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 choice is to go with the local mobster. Like I don't understand how that's supposed to make sense to people, but okay, all right, listen, to each his own. To each his own. Yes, let's not sit there and go to the cops, you know, for this type of situation. Let's go with the mobster because if it comes out, it's not like it's going to be worse. But to each his own. Anyway, beyond the gates, the sad thing is that like beyond the gates didn't really have much, but it had more. It had more. Why is Martin so hard on Sonny? Because Sonny is a mobster and he's a criminal and he's killed people over the years. And Lady B says the biggest thing that wound up happening was that Rachel confessed to Brady that she's the one that shot EJ, that it wasn't Kristen. Kristen went to jail because she knew that Rachel shot EJ, and because she wanted to protect Rachel in her own fucked-hearted way, she decided to go to jail so this way Rachel won't be exposed. And Brady was riding Kristen hard. Yeah, sure. So she remembered and confessed. Yeah, she confessed to Brady because here's the thing: gave um she gave she gave Sarah an allergic reaction. She gave her pistachio and pistachios, and Sarah almost died. Right, so she's feeling guilty about that and everything like that. Yeah, Sarah. Yeah, she gave Sarah an allergic reaction. She felt guilty, and then she confessed. Um, the chat can see that. I'm not asking the chat that, Ron. But I don't want to sit there and see a 70-year-old woman try to give birth, Ron. As I say that every single time that you ask, I don't want to sit there and see a woman who's 70 something years old have a goddamn baby. I thought Rachel like the thing is, Lord B, she did like Sarah. She liked Sarah until she found out. She went on the internet and she found out years ago Sarah took little Rachel when she was a baby and fled the country or whatever. So, in her eyes, she kidnapped her from her yeah, she kidnapped her from her own parents, Lorby. She kidnapped her from her own parents. And so that's why Rachel wanted revenge. Yeah, she found out from the internet years ago when Sarah took Rachel and fled, she found that out, and that's why she wanted to get back at her. Yeah, exactly, Sean. You know how Ron is. And that's do you know honestly tell you, Freddie, that's always been out of pocket to me. Here's the thing. I can understand why people don't like Sonny. The fact that he sat there and killed an FBI agent, he's still walking. The fact that he sat there and killed um AJ and is still walking is just insane to me. Like it's the absolute like I know it's a soap opera, so it's like I don't expect logic or whatever. But see, this is the reason why I love Passions. Because Passions was like, listen, we're going to go balls to the walls. We're not going to sit there and care about things like logic and common sense or anything like that. Like, again, like I said, Freddie, the fact that he sat there and killed the FBI agent and he's still free, like, what? Like, are you fucking kidding me? You sat there and you killed not even just a cop, an FBI agent. He's sitting there talking about, oh, I can't wait to sit there and have Thanksgiving with my family. I was like, bro, you should sit there and be in jail. What the fuck are we doing? Yes, Crystal, I love Passions. I love Passion. Alistair Crane and Vincent Clarkson. Okay, I don't know what that is. Cheap viewers, streambull.com removes the space. I have no idea what you're talking about. Um, Jay Blue says, Sid was the reason for his rage animosity. Laura has known Sonny for decades and has not been pulled into his world unless you count Dalton. I mean, oh, Sir Charles was good. I mean, I get it, Freddie. Like, if it's real life and, like, I think I guess my whole thing is that it's just, I understand why people don't like Sonny. In the beginning, I was a huge, huge Sonny fan. Ava killed Kanye and still walking free too. That's true. That is absolutely true, Jay Blue. You are 100% correct. The fact that Ava still walking the streets is nuts. You're absolutely right. You ain't getting no argument from me. I mean, I'm specifically talking about Sonny, but yes. Um, well, Ron, it's why even bother sometimes? It was like I was gonna get into a run. I was like, I'm not even gonna bother because I reset that like 2 goddamn years ago. So, you know my answer to that, Ron. You know my answer to that. Also, by the way, hit the like button because it does actually help. And become a member while you're at it. This week, like I said, we Freddie says I rock with Sonny Albert, but I will call him or anyone out when they wrong at times. You didn't call Tracy out. Yeah, I mean, Freddie, you sat there and said that you were Team Tracy, even when she was being really nasty and rude as hell. There's a goddamn Rugrats movie that's coming out. Oh, never mind. That's the concept. Never mind. I take that back. Um, yeah, you sat there and said you were Team Tracy. I'm not trying to get into you. I just remember what you sat there and said. Ron says, so Portia is pregnant at her age, so why can't Ava do the same thing? Her only child is Avery, or baby making days are over. I mean, not really. It's just high risk. Hmm. Yep, Tracy's perfect my ass. That's a good question, Jay Blue. That's a good question. That's a real good question. But yeah, that's from today, I think. This is 1 second, Freddie. This is when Sarah was having an allergic reaction, and Brady was sitting there looking at his daughter like, "What the hell did you do to her?" And her be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I tried to stop her." Like, what the fuck? I'm gonna go on a wild fucking tangent in a second. Brady says, "I don't agree with her nastiness about Tracy, but the whole con with Martin and Ronnie, she was right on that. That's why I only sided with Tracy." Yeah, I mean, I get that. I just okay. Yeah, well, I'm glad. I'm glad. I mean, obviously, Ronnie did wrong, Marty did wrong, and I get that. And Tracy was right throughout the whole thing. Tracy was right. She just wasn't right in the way she went about it. She was rude. She was mean. She was nasty. She was mean spirited to a woman who just lost. I'm highlighting that. I'm not asking that. Exactly, Lady B. Tracy was rude and obnoxious. I'm like, this woman's. There you go, Ron. I highlighted it for you. So Blue says having a child at 50 is high risk but not impossible. My friend cousin got pregnant with twins at 53. It wasn't planned pregnancy. Yeah. So like, yeah, it's possible. It's what again? It's what they call a geriatric pregnancy. Um, what makes you think so, Sean? Exactly, Lady B. That's my whole thing. And see, my whole thing, I always sit there and look at it like, it's not just saying that Tracy wasn't right, but Tracy went about it in a very shitty ass way. She went about it in a very terrible, god awful way. And I can't just sit there and let that shit go. I just simply can't. She was right, but her method about it was mean and nasty and just turned me off. Like, nah, boy, you're still a shitty person. Yeah, you fought for the family, and that's great and everything like that. And yeah, the family didn't have your back when they should have. Okay. But your family also sat there and looked at you like, yo, you could have sat there and easily poisoned Ronnie. You did that to Alexis. Even though she wants to sit there and lie about that. See, this is why I can't tell that you're trolling or not. Because here's my whole thing, right? Tracy thought Ronnie was stealing from her family. Okay, why would she be nice? That okay, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the first day that she met her. She met her in a family crib. Okay. Ronnie's sister just died. And she was nasty and rude to her like no tomorrow. There is like honestly tell you, there is no excuse in the world to sit there and behave like that. There really is not. And I don't know if you're gonna give me a trolling answer or not, but there is no excuse to sit there and act the way that she was acting. Now, she treated her. Listen, there's nothing wrong with sitting there. Okay, I'm gonna take this off. There's nothing wrong. 1 second, Ron. I don't know what you asked me, but it seemed like you're about to ask me some crazy shit. Ron says, obviously, is saying that Sheila pregnancy at her age is yes. Danny says Ronnie was on her was on her property and Monica never mentioned she had a sister, so why would Tracy believe her? Okay. All right. You know what? I'm gonna just let that go. I'm gonna let that go. Because honestly, tell you the truth, Danny Bear, what I see you doing is I see you sit there finding every excuse in the book to sit there and justify Tracy's nasty, rude behavior to Ronnie. And honestly, tell you the truth, she did. Here's the thing: Tracy sat there and said that, yeah, I know of you, I heard of you. She didn't talk about her for a while, so yeah, she felt like, um, yeah, yeah, 2 days of that shit was rude as fuck. I mean, was annoying as fuck. Just a waste of, the same thing at Eagle. Like my dad was actually starting to get into the story with the LA stuff. Tracy knew about Ronnie because she did a background check. She looked down on her. Exactly. She knew about her. She didn't talk to her, but she knew about her. She knew that was her sister. She knew that she had a sister. And so the fact that her sister died and the only thing that she did was greeted with nastiness and rudeness was like, are you kidding me? Again, I'm not trying to like get into like any, even I know Tracy crossed the line. Like I, I just, yeah, but thank you, Lady B. She knew about her. She knew about her. And that was, you know what I'm saying? Like, here's the thing. There's, and one second, Freddie. There's, it's one thing to sit there and have your guard up and be like, I don't know you too well, so I'm not going to sit there and outright trust you. And that's fine. I don't think she should have, but I don't think that she should have been as nasty and as rude as she was. That was like, it was uncalled for. Now, bottom line, it was uncalled for. You know, even though she could have been a grifter. Freddie says, honestly, I think when Portia is exposed, she's going to be unapologetic to Curtis, all because she so threatened of Jordan and Curtis. Portia stepped out on her marriage first and slept with another man. Yeah, and she did. She definitely did. It just sounds like you're mad. No, that's seriously, that's what you got. That's what you got from that whole thing. Like, really? Um, Phyllis has to be one of the most pathetic characters in soap's history. This chick can still get guys in her 20s. Stop crying over the washed up rocks. Fucking facts. Facts. Let me put that. There we go. I want to pin that shit. Hold on. I'm gonna get to you in a second, Danny Bear. Where is that? Hold on. Where is that comment at? Oh, there we go. Let's pin that. There we go. Let's pin that bitch. 1 second, Ron. What I'm saying, Danny Bear, okay, is that there was no reason to sit there and be that rude and nasty to her. She knew that she had a sister. She knew that. She didn't have to sit there and be so rude and nasty to her. Yeah, she was on her property. She was not there paying respects towards her sister, who just died. Like, there's such a thing as having compassion. You don't have to sit there and necessarily like somebody or like the fact that they're on your property. But you don't have to be rude and nasty either on a very sad and terrible day. Danny Reminder is not washed up. Danny, are you sure you're not drinking tonight? I wouldn't like someone on my property. So you would act rude and nasty to that person whose sister just died? That's what I'm just saying, Danny. But you would be rude and nasty and disrespectful to someone whose sister just died. Do you think that Brady took little Rachel seriously when she confessed to shooting AJ? Oh no, that's not what I asked you. I'm Snither saying is, would you be rude and nasty to somebody whose sister just died? If I had to watch Danny saying, I much rather watch B&B or Beyond the Gates. Oof, I gotta tell you, if you gotta sit there and watch Beyond the Gates, I'm a nice person. It's hard to be mean. Didn't really answer my question, but okay. Um, I mean, it's just listen. I've listen, Eagle fan. You know how I feel about what you call it. You said so. I don't feel like you did. You just said I'm a nice person, so it's hard to be mean. You didn't sit there and say, "Would you be mean to somebody whose sister just died if they were on your property?" Have a good night, Jay Blue. And technically, they weren't on your prop. They weren't on Tracy's property. It was still Monica's property at the time. But I mean, that's kind of splitting hairs. But the point is, like, would you sit there and be mean? Would you? Would you? Okay. Would you give? Would you give that? Would you give the same energy that Tracy did towards someone? I don't know. I don't know, Ron. I don't know. I think he probably. I think he probably did. I think he did. Jay Blue said Tracy seemed to enjoy being rude to Ronnie, or was she using that anger stage of grief to act that way to Ronnie? I mean, it could have been a combination. I don't have the energy to be mean. Oh, okay. I feel like that's kind of a cop out, but let's just let's just gotta move on. Let's just move on. You must have really been good at at debating people. Um, you kind of dodge like nobody else's business. Yeah, Sean, I will sit there and see you on Wednesday. You have a great night, my friend. Um, ah, anyway, yeah, Sean. But yeah, YNR for 2 days was just, my whole thing is, Eagle, if you're still in the chat, I know, here's the thing. I know that they want to cater to the Danny and Christine fandom, right? They're considered a super couple. First of all, I'm going to be honest. I don't really give a shit about wedding episodes, any wedding episodes. I didn't care about Chase and Brooklyn's wedding that we had to sit there and see for 3 damn days. So I really didn't care. Yeah, and it's a shame that they sat there and from my opinion, wasted 2 whole days on you know I guess like giving this fandom that much attention. Um, but anyway, it's over, and we can get back to. I hope not, Ron. They can get back to the actual story that people are caring about. That my dad is actually caring about. I like surprisingly. Um, well, this is the reason why Danny and Christine marriage ended. The sad thing is that she is all those old people. Well, I mean, Danny Bay, you know what they call the show, right? They call it The Old and the Restless. I can see Chase trying to be friends to Willow, but he is going overboard. I never thought he would neglect his current wife or his ex-wife. You know, the sad thing is that Brooklyn's not even worried about that. Like, she's not insecure, like, or anything like that. She's worried about Chase's job, and Alexis is worried about Chase's job. And the only person who doesn't seem like they're worried about his job is Chase. Chase seems like the only person that does not seem like he is worried that much about his damn job. It's ridiculous. Hmm. You know, I normally don't sit there and play clips, right? But since one of my members is not here right now, and I want to erase this video off my library. I was like, this is an interesting little clip. So, y'all sit there and tell me if I still have it. There we go. Y'all tell me what's going on in this clip.
How long has it been since you've been at work? Like, how long has it been since you've not been on the show?
I left before Thanksgiving. I'd say like probably 2 months ago.
And how many people have you seen from work since then?
Well, I did the Habitat for Humanity build.
Oh, that's right. So everyone was there?
A lot of people were there, but there were a lot of new faces.
Oh, yeah. That must be weird, actually, only being gone for 2 months, and there's all of a sudden all these new people.
Totally.
Like, were you like, who are you?
True people. I didn't even know if they were, because I haven't watched the show, so I was like, oh, hi. But no, they're all really nice, and but really I mainly hang out with you.
What do you want for Christmas?
I don't know. I'm pretty much getting what I want for Christmas. I'm going to Austria. That's usually like
You lucky duck.
the Christmas present. It's like the trip.
Yeah. What are you going to do in Austria?
Snowboarding.
Are you a good snowboarder?
No. I started out skiing like when I was 3, so snowboarding is pretty new for me.
We still have to do that together.
I know.
What is the thing that you remember the most from being on General Hospital?
Well, I mean, the dialogue, a lot of dialogue, but also working with the people like in the green room and just going over lines, talking about like what we're gonna be doing, and it can be pretty stressful. So like everyone's really there for you. Like if you needed anything, like if you don't understand something, you just go like knock on someone's dressing room and be like, "Can you please help me understand this?" Or like, "Please help me just like work this out."
Who was the main person that you went to when you had questions?
I mean, Maurice probably helped me out the most, but it was usually like when we did scenes together, because I didn't want to bother him all the time, because
Yeah.
we would just like work when we did scenes together.
He's a good teacher, though. I mean,
He
I
is.
feel like
He
he's
took me
taught
under
so many people.
Yeah.
He's a good teacher. He taught me a lot, too, when I was younger.
Yeah, probably the best advice. I mean, Nancy, she's just lighthearted. She's hilarious.
Have you seen Haley?
I actually just saw her yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah,
She's so cute.
she's cute. She came
Is she taller than you now?
Work. Yeah, she's been taller than
Oh.
me since the show. They had to put her in flats. I'm always in heels because we're the same height. But
That's
Yeah.
so cute.
But apparently, like, when they got the new group of people,
Yeah.
they're, like, all really tall now, so she just, like, blends in.
That's so funny.
It's, like... she was
Well,
taller
I'm not
than-
tall.
Well, I know, because, like, me...
Kelly,
you, Kelly,
Becky, Vanessa, yeah.
Becky, like, all the same height,
Kirsten.
same shoe size. Oh, Kirsten.
Tiny. We're all short.
So it went from, like, this, and now it's like this.
That's true. All the new people are tall. I didn't even realize that.
Now that clip was, I think, over 15 something years old, and that's when Alexi, I think that's her name, she was super young, and now I get to also delete that from my library, which is good. Um, but I mean, I don't, I don't know why. But yeah, that was the OG Christina. And then for a time they had a they had an actress named Lindsay Morgan. Lindsay Morgan, she played Christina. And granted, Lindsay Morgan version of Christina was annoying as hell. I mean, it's like they dialed it up on on her annoyanceness. I know I'm biased, but I don't care. I like the OG Christina. I'm not feeling the current Christina. Not to take anything away from the actress playing her, but I'm sure she's doing her thing. But it's not for me. Yeah, I get it. You know, it's the same thing with what's her name? The chick that's playing her now. This chick that's playing Lulu now. Alexi, I think that's her name. Some people don't like Alexi. Some people, they prefer Julie. I don't know. I don't know. The thing is, I just like there is a point where it's like I can't knock people on one end because I'm not feeling this new Sophia on Days of Our Lives. But I also understand that the original actress that played Sophia chose to leave. Right? I don't know the story with Alexia. I mean, I don't know the story with Lexi if she chose to leave or if General Hospital decided to kick it to the curb. But it is what it is, right? Because you look at Lexi was more of a kid version. She was more like a young adult of Christina, and this one is more the adult version. This one is a lot older. She is like what Christina will be like when she's older. So they're essentially playing two different characters in a sense. You know, but I don't know. I guess that conversation is like, oh, I don't like Laura Wright as Carly. I prefer Sarah. I prefer Tamara. And it's like, you know, you have your right to like and dislike who you want. It's just at the end of the day, regardless if you dislike them or not, they're there, and it is what it is. And although I do respect and you know freedom of speech and opinions and everything, it's not going to change anything. Like honestly, tell you the truth, on Days of Our Lives, it's not going to sit there and change no matter how many times I sit there and say, I don't like the new Sophia. I think the new Sophia is trash. She's not doing a good job. I'm stuck with her. I am stuck with her for better or worse with the new actress that plays Sophia, and trust me, it is worse. Far, 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 far worse. You know, yeah, Haley. I think we was watching clips of Morgan, and they had Haley in it. No one likes Sophia. I need to check out scenes from the first one. It's so bad. It's so bad. I mean, the energy and the way that the character was written. I mean, granted, I didn't like Sophia, but like, I felt like the first actress that played Sophia and the way that they wrote for her was so much more better than this fucktarded version of what we have to sit there and deal with now. It's so bad. And it's funny. People listen to this saying like her best acting is when she's not doing anything. Because she's in this like cata, she's in this like catacomb or whatever state where she's not talking, she's not saying anything or whatever, and it's her best acting. It's her best acting. It's like the scenes are so much more enjoyable when she doesn't actually have to talk or say anything. You know, Guess it's Ronnie Ron's bedtime now. One of the things I will sit there and say about Days, I understand where Jennifer's coming from. I know a lot of people, like Tony Moore and some other people, are feeling like she's out of pocket when it comes to us taking Chad's kids, and I can see where they're coming from. But people are sitting there acting like they're acting like Jennifer is the Wicked Witch of the West. Yeah, she's been acting like a Karen um when it came towards Chad and who he's seeing. And I think it was Ed. Ed was like, it'd be really interesting if they decide to go to court and everything like that. Is that EJ should bring up Jack's history. Most people may not know about Jack's history, but long story short, Jack, he sexually assaulted Kayla. And I think it'll be a hell of a thing to sit there and bring up. And EJ would have no qualms that they're bringing that shit up. This is years ago before I started watching the show. And probably before I was born. But, like, yeah, Jack, he did that to Kayla. He violated her. I wish I could sit there and say what I want to say, but it's YouTube. But, yeah, he violated her. Point blank, period. Freddie says Beyond the Gates is not that good to me. In my personal opinion, the only thing I vibe with is their background music, like the restaurant, country club, bars, and that's it for me. Beyond the Gates is Beyond the Gates is trash. Okay? Beyond the Gates is literally the worst fucking soap opera I've ever sat there and watched. It has its good moments. Okay? Some of the characters are likable. Some, like Leslie, are just unwatchable. She's not doing what's best for Thomas and Charlotte. Is she? Thomas ran into traffic because he he saw Chad hanging out with Kat, right? If Chad wasn't hanging out with Kat, his ass would have ran into traffic. If Chad wasn't sitting there hanging out with Kat, Thomas wouldn't have sat there and threw a pumpkin at him. Listen, I'm not sitting there saying that like her heart is in the right place. She's just going about it in a way where it's like a lot of people don't like. But yeah, Freddie, Beyond the Gates is trash. It's the worst fucking soap opera I've ever seen. It makes The Bold and the Beautiful look like Shakespeare. Okay? And you don't need to know The Bold and the Beautiful. It's not super great. It has its moments, but it's better than fucking Beyond the Gates. And I thought that Bold and the Beautiful was like as low as it can go as far as badness. And then I watched Beyond the Gates. Here's what I was sitting there and saying. Out of all the 5 shows, their intro is the best. Their intro is the best out of all 5 of the shows. General Hospital is terrible and lazy. The intro that I show in my on my what you call it, and I'll play it again just because. But then he says that's just an excuse. Thomas was acting like a little brat. He should have Chad a chance to talk. Jennifer should be trying to mend Thomas and Chad's relationship. Don't cater to a child. Make some valid points. Make some valid points. I would sit there and say. And I'm not gonna play the whole intro. What the hell is it at? Now, General Hospital's intro used to be fire. Okay? Don't know what the hell happened, but it used to be fire. This is how. That's not it. There we go. Jesus. Now that was a fire intro. That's how you do a goddamn intro. Listen, because I already play these intros anyway, but now I'll show you the one that they used to do before. The sad thing is that even this intro is better than the lazy ass goddamn intro that we get. Okay? Even that even that intro is a lot better than the shit that we get now. It's still better. It's you know what? Just because I'm in a generous mode. Now I'm gonna show you another intro that's well, you know what? I'll let y'all see it. There it is. That goddamn intro is better than that whatever lazy shit that we got going on now. That one's still even better. Well, seriously, tell me if I'm wrong. The original version of that was my favorite, as well as the story book one in the early 2000s. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, y'all saw. Okay, there's a pattern, right? There's a pattern when they all start to kind of be somewhat similar. All right, just remember. But see, that's my whole thing now. They started. Okay, tell me if. So y'all just saw that, right? Tell me if they don't start to sound kind of similar, or at least have a similar style. Now they're all good. Don't get me wrong. They also start to kind of blend into each other. Like, oh, that looks kind of cool. That sounds kind of cool. Let's do something that's somewhat like that. They all kind of started doing somewhat very similar intros. Fire intros, but started to be kind of similar. The tones and you know kind of changed a little bit, but they all seemed like they had that we're trying to be young and youthful kind of vibe. And with all my children, it worked, but like anyway, yeah, I mean, Christian was still on the show, and yet Jessica wound up ending up with at one point Antonio. So like that was a thing. Nick said then that intro is good too. Want to live with search and loot. I love the new uh, intro with all my children. You know what it is? You know what it is, Danny Bay? It just seemed like it can't. I mean, granted, I stopped watching the show, but when I was watching it, it was always Jessica and Christian, or Jessica and Will. You know, Will Rappaport. Um, so like the fact that she was with Antonio just seemed like Freddie says you're taking us back to memory lanes. I with these intros. You so love it. I don't know what the new is they have on now. Well, the thing is, Freddie. Um, when I do my members live streams, we watch a lot of old school One Like to Live episodes and General Hospital episodes and All My Children and stuff like that. So like it's been really fun, Freddie, to like go down memory lane watching old school characters like Jessica and Taz. And my new favorite personality, um, Wes. I don't know if anyone remembers, Jessica, she had alternate personalities. She had Tess, she had Bess, and she also had Wes, which I gotta sit there and say was probably my favorite. Because she was literally acting like a dude throughout these scenes, and they were just fucking hilarious. And the actor that plays Cody, he used to be on One Night to Live. He played a character named Cutter. Have a night, Lorby. He played a character named Cutter. Look it up. Cutter is Cody, essentially. Cutter is Cody. They could have just brought Cutter from One Night to Live and put him on General Hospital, and it would have been the same damn character. Same damn character. Yeah, exactly, Daniel. You remember Cutter. Cutter was Cody. Cutter was Cody. Like, Cutter was Cody. I am so fucking close my damn window tonight. I have to hear this fuck-hearted dog. I feel bad for the other people that's got to be outside listening to that. I remember Tess and Ford. I fuck with Tess. Tess was, listen, Erica Torpy played Jessica, and she played a cuter, more innocent version. But when Brie took over the role, like after a while, even Jessica was like, all right, she's not somebody to fuck with, especially when she was Tess. She was not somebody to fuck with. Dang, I thought my dogs. Well, they just kind of leave the dog outside on the fucking leash instead of walking it. So Cody basically played the same. Exactly. I was like, you could listen. You could have just. It would have made more sense for them to bring Cutter onto the show. Number one, for people that may not remember this, Why to Live, All My Children, and General Hospital are in the same universe. Okay, they all exist in one universe. You could just bring Cutter over. Cutter and Cody is not that different. Now Ryan Lavery and Drew Kane, oh no, they are like worlds apart. And Ryan at times can be a dick. Ryan Lavery from All My Children at times I was like, all right, bro, you being kind of you doing a little bit too much. But Ryan had nothing on Drew. Tess was wild, but Tess was fun to watch. Tess was fun tonight. Was fun to watch. And my member circle, we're probably gonna want to do it. We're probably gonna do a test night. So if you're not a member, make sure you join and sit there and shit. It is getting late, and I have to wake up early. Um, so I'm gonna end the stream here. Now I'm not gonna be back until Wednesday. Wednesday I'll be back. We'll sit there and do it up. Yeah, that's the thing. Allison, check the community tab. I always will post when I'm doing one. So just check it. I don't usually do streams on Monday, but it was fun. I brought people down to some memory lane, some little nostalgic. Come to my member circle and we'll have a good time. You remember Stacy from Like to Live? No, actually I don't, Freddie. I stopped watching it in 2002. So like when I do these member circles and go revisit old characters, that's how I know about them. Like I wasn't watching Cutter. I only went back um a couple weeks ago, and that's how I knew about Cutter. So yeah, everything that I'm learning about All My Children and Why to Live is from the member streams and the clips and the research that I read up on the characters before I showcase them. But Stacey seems like an interesting character that would be fun to look at. But anyway, I'm gonna sit in the industry here. This was fun as always. I'm working on a video, so I will. All right, that's good, Freddie. I would definitely. I'll look her up. Stacey. I'll look her up. But yeah, this was fun. I'll be back on Wednesday. We'll sit there and do it up. Have a good time as usual. And yeah, hit the like button on the way up. Oh, she was a stripper? Okay. Well, I mean, obviously she's going to be on my radar. I mean, I probably won't show the stripper scenes, but I may watch them independently, for research purposes. But yes, I'll be back on Wednesday. So have a good night, everyone. Have a good night, Freddie, Allison, Danny Bear 87. Let's get Danny Bear's numbers up. Let's get her subscribers numbers up so she could do some live streams and she could you know share with the world her thoughts. And like Todd being the best and Tracy's perfect and all the other stuff. Where we at? Yeah, there we go. Subscribe to. I got 3 new. Oh yeah. Let me check your page out. I want to see where you at. I want to make sure you get to 50 so you could do your streams. Oh, go to the channel. Okay, good. All right, you're good. Oh, I mean, Allison, I'm here to help Danny Bear out. I know 52. That's all right. So I look forward to when you do a live stream. Yes, have a good night, Freddie. Yeah, I want exactly, Allison. Subscribe to Danny Bear's channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to her channel. She's fun. She's a sport and all that good stuff. And I'm looking at it right now, 52. That's what's up. But yeah, so I'll sit there and be back tomorrow. I'll be back Wednesday. Check the community tab. We'll sit there and post when I'm coming on. Trevor was the best. Trevor was the best Todd, not. Well, I like Trevor as Todd. I like Roger as Todd. They both did their thing. Well, Trevor did a good job. Listen, I'm not gonna. I will never knock Trevor's version of Todd. I like Roger. You know, I like Roger, not just because he was not so much because he was the OG. He was also good as Todd. You know. Here we go. Daddy Bear trolling. I can't wait to see you troll when you start trolling. Well, you start trolling live. Yeah, more people subscribe to Dan Bear's channel. Laters. Oh, also hit the like button, the hype button, and the share button, and become a member. Seriously, we gotta have some fun.